pediatric eye care, emergency eye care, cataract and LASIK evaluations, Acadiana Optics provides family eye care for all vision needs. Enjoy state-of-the-art technology, designer frame selections, prescription Maui Jim sunglasses, and custom glasses and contacts. Acadiana Optics in Broussard. Call today to schedule your appointment.
You've never seen prices this low at Regional Homes of Opelousas. From June 26th through July 3rd, we're clearing out all inventory during our biggest clearance event of the year, the Red, White, and Blue sale. Look for red, white, and blue tagged homes across the lot. Everything must go. These move-in ready homes are priced to sell fast, and with deals this good, it's first come, first served, so do not wait. Stop by today on 14704 Highway 190 in Opelousas to tour our discounted homes before the sale begins, or visit regionalhomesopelousas.com/red tag to learn more.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Karen Crow Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up!
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys! Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros took one back from the Minnesota Twins yesterday with a 6-4 win in Daikin Park. A 6-run fourth inning powered by Yordan Alvarez grand slam was the difference maker in the contest for the Astros. First pitch in the rubber match is tonight at 7:10 p.m. in Houston, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. In the World Cup yesterday, Norway knocked out Ivory Coast with a 2-1 victory. Norway will now move on to face Brazil on July 5th. After that, France crushed Sweden 3-0 to knock out the Swedes and send France through to play Paraguay on July 4th. And lastly, yesterday, Mexico defeated Ecuador 2-0 at the Azteca. They'll now move on to play the winner of today's England versus Congo DR match, which will kick off at 11 o'clock this morning. Then in the second match today, Belgium will play Senegal at 3 p.m. Then to close out the night, the United States will face Bosnia and Herzegovina at Levi Stadium in San Francisco. The U.S. is a 1.5 favorite over Bosnia, and kickoff is at 7 p.m. tonight. New Orleans Pelicans re-signed center DeAndre Jordan for his 19th season in the league. Jordan last season with the Pels averaged under 4.5 points a game and just under 6.5 rebounds a game. Legendary former Southern baseball coach and Hall of Famer Roger Cador passed away yesterday at the age of 74. Cador coached the Jags for 33 seasons and won 14 SWAC titles and 2 HBCU national championships in his time in Baton Rouge. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. Dawson Iserloh prides himself on taking a deep dive to uncover all the relevant data about the sports and sports teams he loves. And now he's sharing all those facts inside his big brain with all of you. Here is the LohDown with D-Loh on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
It is the LohDown, ESPN 1037 in Lafayette, 1041 in Lake Charles. Anywhere you are with ESPN Southwest Louisiana mobile app, live now streaming on our app and on YouTube, ESPN_SWLA. It is the last show of the week for me. We're actually going to go national programming tomorrow from 1 to 3. We are shutting operations down here a little early for the holiday. So we're going to be national programming tomorrow, which is a little bit of a change from what we were originally planning to do. So just keep that in mind. But this is my last show of the week, so I got a lot to get to. I'm fired up I haven't been this excited about a soccer match ever. I think that's easy to say. I don't think I have to contest it any further. That is no doubt where I'm at right now. It is the most excited I've ever been for a soccer match. And that's going to amp up every round we get through. Hopefully, Team USA does not lay an egg tonight. That'd be an all-time buzzkill, right? But it's exciting. It's fun. We've got a lot going on. I had to pivot, by the way. Locked in. I had my segment done for today. Had it all mapped out. Was going to talk some Astros baseball, some Major League Baseball, some other things that are happening. And after watching this England versus DR Congo match that just finished, by the way, I had to change it up. And also seeing some of the stuff that happened last night in Mexico, I got to switch it. I got to go soccer on the open. And that's just how I'm going to have to do it because I am blown away by a few of the things that we've watched in the last couple days. This tournament's only getting better. I am glad I picked this World Cup to go all in for. If you missed it just now, I mean, I'll recap it for you in a bit, but what England just pulled off, I mean, man, it was England's a good old-fashioned hate watch. We talked about it. James and I addressed this a couple weeks back, like the realization that the English people have the opportunity to potentially win a World Cup on our soil on our 250th anniversary. And like, that's not happening, right? We can't let that happen. So I know some American fans like Mexico is our soccer rivals. I was like, no, I am hate watching England far more than Mexico. I've actually been kind of enjoying watching Mexico do it in front of their own fans. And the best part about it, as I'll allude to in a bit, is that now we get Mexico-England. So I am definitely rooting for Mexico in the next round. Anyway, we'll get to that more in just a minute. We do have a lot to talk about today. We got a 3-guest lineup, so we're not going to have a show Friday. Obviously, we are national programming all day Friday in honor of the 4th of July holiday. Our offices will be closed. So we're going to get Chasten Tavares on today at 1:30. I flipped the interview slot times on the tweet today. So it's Chasten Tavares at 1:30. It's Johnny Meza at 2:30. Just in case you saw the tweet and you were expecting soccer at 1:30, Chasten in the second hour. We're going to do Chasten in his normal time slot just a couple days early at 1:30. Zach Nagy in his normal time slot talking about his normal topic on his normal day. 2 o'clock for Zach Nagy. We do have a lot of LSU recruiting buzz. It's actually been a bit of a down week. They lost a couple big-time prospects that they were potentially looking at getting commitments from. And then Johnny will join us for the Red Card Rundown segment at 2:30. We'll do all things U.S. soccer. I am excited for that more than ever before. I also have some audio clips to play for you for surrounding U.S. soccer, which I'm going to get to at some point. Because I wanted to get some thoughts from I'm not an expert in the industry, from some experts, from some soccer people, and I got those from ESPN Radio, so we're going to play those in just a bit. But that's the guest lineup for today. We are going to mix some Astros in. It was a fascinating game last night. They got back on the winning side of things yet again. They've got a chance tonight to win their 6th consecutive series. How impressive would that be, given kind of where this team's been at different points throughout the season? 6 straight would be pretty cool, and they've got a chance to do that tonight against the Twins. So we've got a lot going on. Let's go ahead and start it off, though, as I mentioned. Had to switch things up a little bit. We are going to open with essentially a mini version of the Red Card Rundown, but we're just going to start it with Locked In on Soccer. Let's do it.
D-Loh is the kind of guy that stays locked in. On what? Well, that depends on the night. But you can guarantee there was some sporting event that he found interesting. It's time to find out what D-Loh was locked in on the LohDown.
So because our official Red Card Rundown segment today is going to be with Johnny kind of talking preview of the U.S. match, big picture thoughts, I want to go through the matches that happened yesterday and so far today here on the Open. Norway beats Ivory Coast 2-1. And again, the theme of this World Cup that I've said it before, and it's continued with no doubt. The stars are being stars. They are shining bright here on American soil. Erling Haaland in the 86th minute goes ahead after Ivory Coast had tied it up just 12 minutes before. This was the match that was going on while our show was going on. So Haaland gets it done. Norway's moving on. The rowing stuff that they're doing, the row celebration, being led on the field with all the Norwegian fans, it is incredible. It is another reminder why this sport is fun. And that stuff's been unbelievable. Haaland with kind of that reaction, like they handed him the phone. He's giving his natural take right there on the pitch. It was crazy stuff. So Norway moves on. They knock out Ivory Coast. The first real, comfortable game for a powerhouse. France was all over Sweden. It never looked all that competitive. They had a bunch of chances early. They didn't score until the 45th minute, but they had more opportunities than that. Mbappe scores twice. Again, the stars keep shining. They got a third goal. It was an easy 3-0 win. Sweden never really looked like they were in this thing. It's really one of the first knockout matches that just looked truly comfortable. It actually is the first match to be decided by more than one goal. So France, who we talked about their path, is a little bit softer now than it might have been before because of the upset to Germany. They cruise past Sweden. Mbappe's a problem. That France team, from what I've seen so far in this cup, should be the favorite to win it all, at least as of now. Mexico and Ecuador. So here's where it starts. Man, this Mexico team, they were playing in their stadium, right, Azteca. They're going with, it's called Estadio Banorte, but it's known as Azteca. The scenes in there are unbelievable. Mexico hadn't won a knockout stage game, and they were kind of fighting this curse. They're a really solid squad. I told you they didn't give up any goals in the group stage. Guess what? They didn't give up a goal last night either. They were all over Ecuador. They got goals early, 22nd and 31st minute. They had other chances. They cruised. Ecuador did get a red card very late there in stoppage time. That kind of got ugly a little bit, but they were able to get the sides away. And then, like Mexico wins. That's great. They're moving on. The scenes in Mexico City last night. I did not stay up. I didn't see any of this stuff last night because the game was late, so I went to bed right when it finished. I woke up this morning to my feed showing these aerial shots of Mexico City last night. It looked like AI. It looked 100% like fake images. It's real drone shots. They were partying in that city like they had just won a world war or something. I mean, like they had achieved world peace. I mean, it was unbelievable. The fireworks that were going off, the people crowded into the streets, just unbelievable scenes. And so I was like, my goodness, it is just cool to have these types of moments that don't happen otherwise. And that's why, hey, as awesome as American sports are, and I am certainly like, don't worry, the show's not going to become like, we're not going to be doing, UEFA updates on the show every week after the World Cup. MLS, locked in segments on MLS, but it is the worldwide reach that this sport has cannot be denied. It is obviously, for a reason, the most popular sport in the world. And like the scenes in Mexico City last night were unbelievable. If you haven't seen it, you've got to go check it out. It's all over. I know the Fox Soccer Twitter page posted it, but I mean, everybody posted it. The scene in Mexico City last night after they won was unreal. And by the way, as I mentioned, their next matchup, which would be the last one in Mexico. Everything past the round of 16 is happening in the U.S. They've got one left in Canada, one left in Mexico, and the Mexican side gets to host it. It's going to be unbelievable. And then this morning happened. Earlier start time. That's why it's already over. They started this game at 11 instead of noon, like they had started the last few days. England and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Congo scores in the 6th minute, and they get off to a hot start, and you're going, uh-oh. And, of course, as I said, like, the number one wish is for the U.S. to win the World Cup. The number 2 wish for me is for England not to win it, okay? We are going ABE, baby, anybody but England. So they're down, and you're like, hey, this could be. And I got to say, too, it didn't feel, and the broadcast team referenced this, like, Congo came out, it was not a fluky. They were aggressive. Like, they were trying to score. Sometimes you think a team like this, maybe they get a big counterattack and then they'll just sit back and defend. Even after they scored, they had more chances. There was a controversial no call in that first half. Harry Kane getting down into the box area. Could have been called a PK. I saw some of the analysts thought it should have been. Some were kind of okay with the no call. I'm not a soccer expert, so I don't know what I would have thought about it. Naked eye view, I thought I'd let them play on right there because I don't like the officials trying to decide the game. But I get why England fans probably were upset about it. So they go into the half down 1-0. But then, we saw it. Some of the other teams early that trailed, they got the equalizers early in the second half where the stress doesn't build. We got into the 70s in the minute totals, and you're going, it's not happening yet. And right? Sometimes you can start to press, and you're like, oh, we got to get this goal. We got to get this goal. And in soccer, I imagine pressing is just as bad as it is in baseball. Trying harder is not going to be your answer. You still got to be patient. You got to be smooth. You got to make your runs. And credit to England. They didn't panic, and they have one of the best players in the world, and he showed why. Harry Kane, unbelievable. Gets the equalizer first, and then gets the go-ahead goal. The go-ahead goal was incredible. Just a little quick touch and just a missile fire to the back of the net. The Congo goalie, by the way, had an unbelievable performance. England's a very strong team. We know that. So, they had more chances than Congo did probably, but he was saving everything in sight. Finally, couple balls that he just can't get to because Harry Kane puts him in unbelievable position. And they go up 2-1. There was one last run for the Congo at the end. They had a free kick just outside the box. They tried to hit the little spinner with some top spin on it to duck inside. It was just high, and they ultimately fall 2-1. So England does move on. Unsuccessful hate watch. Man, you hate to see it, but Harry Kane is that guy. He's that guy, unfortunately. Hashtag that guy. That is who he is. But the good news for us Revolutionary War supporters in this country, they got to play Mexico, and they got to play Mexico at Azteca. I cannot wait to watch. You want to talk about the round? So we had a lot of conversation. I will say it. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm all against expansion and stuff, but you know what expansion gave us? It did give us this round of 32 that has had far more entertaining matches than we thought. Of the round of 32 matches so far, only 2 of them have been decided by multiple goals. That was the 2-0 win for Mexico over Ecuador and the 3-0 win for France over Sweden. Every other match has either gone to PKs or been decided by 1 goal. So they have given us intrigue, and it's given nations like the Congo a chance to shine. And what it's also doing is setting us up for some really, really nasty matches in the round of 16. And I mean nasty in a good way. And Mexico-England could be that. Look, I think, this Mexico team's maybe slept on. I'm going to get Johnny Mays' opinion on that in the second hour. But the idea that they're going to be playing in their home stadium, which is a difficult place to play in the first place, with all the energy they had last night, the celebration. The only thing I wonder now, it wasn't like the players were down there in Mexico City going nuts, although who knows, maybe a few of them snuck out there. But can you take all that in, have a few days, and come back down to earth and get ready to play a team that's much better than the team you just beat, right? I mean, England is miles better than Ecuador. So that's the only thing I worry about with Mexico. It's kind of some of the same things I worry about with the U.S., but I'm all for it. Let's go Mexico. They're our neighbors. Let's join together here. Let's join forces and eliminate the English. Let's get them out of this tournament. But it was an incredible match, and Harry Kane's, he's unbelievable. Not going to find me finding a way to call him overrated or anything. I mean, and I'm watching. I'm literally, I've still got it on. That second shot he put in the back of the net. I mean, just unbelievable. So they do pull it off. The rest of the day, by the way, obviously the nightcap is the one that matters the most. That is the Americans taking on Bosnia. But the match that's going to get going right as I sign off the air, 3 o'clock for the kickoff, Belgium and Senegal. That is critically important to the Americans as well. Most of you know by now, the winner of the U.S.-Bosnia match plays the winner of Belgium and Senegal. So you're rooting in that one. Look, Senegal on paper's, not as good as Belgium is, but I think it's, kind of a toss-up. I mean, you look at the odds there. Belgium is actually a plus 110, and Senegal is plus 165. The spread in that game is in that match is half a goal. So it's going to be fascinating for sure to see Belgium and Senegal match up. So you get a little appetizer. Perfect, right? The team that the U.S. is going to face in the next round, if they were to win tonight, you'll already know it because they're playing in the match ahead at 3 o'clock. So U.S. and Bosnia at 7. I cannot wait. Let's do this. Let's take a break now. When we return, I want to stay on this topic of the World Cup. I want to play you some audio clips. What do some of the experts think? What do some of the soccer analysts think about this U.S. team and what's going on right now? We'll get their thoughts. We'll play those clips for you. Get ready to roll, and then we'll talk with Chasten at the bottom of the hour. It's the LohDown. Stay tuned.
This is the LohDown with D-Loh, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
With storm season having arrived, ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana sports station, and Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley bring you these hurricane safety tips. Make sure to secure your home and bring in outdoor items before the storm makes landfall. Have an emergency kit stocked with water, food, and medications. Know your evacuation routes and listen to local authorities. Stay informed with a battery-powered radio and make sure you have fresh batteries. Remember, safety is in your hands. These hurricane preparedness tips are powered by Mid-South Power Solutions in Crowley, your local Generac dealer. Visit midsouthpowersolutions.com.
Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Palermo. Join us on Tuesday nights for Tiger Rag Radio. Myself, Todd Horn, and Glenn Gilbo give you the latest happenings in Tiger Town and across the SEC. We talk to coaches, analysts, and those in the know when it comes to the Tigers and the Southeastern Conference. We cover all the sports: football, baseball, basketball, softball, and gymnastics. That's Tuesday nights right here on ESPN 103.7 in Lafayette and 104.1 in Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
It's 9 a.m. You just received a voicemail from your boss.
Hey, Janet. Heads up. We got an important meeting coming up Thursday. The big guys are coming into town, so I need you in charge of lunch, and we've got to look good.
Luckily for Janet, she knows a place, and she knows her boss will be impressed.
Honey Baked Ham can cater your next event. delicious and freshly sliced deli trays, box lunches with sandwich, chips, and dessert. Or try our fresh salad boxes and the perfect touch with a meat and cheese tray. Honey Baked Ham Company.
Are you looking for an eye expert? Well, visit Acadiana Optics in Broussard, locally owned, founded, and operated by Broussard native Dr. Lindsay Dugas. From comprehensive eye exams for glasses and contacts to diabetic exams, pediatric eye care, emergency eye care, cataract and LASIK evaluations, Acadiana Optics provides family eye care for all vision needs. Enjoy state-of-the-art technology, designer frame selections, prescription Maui Jim sunglasses, and custom glasses and contacts. Acadiana Optics in Broussard. Call today to schedule your appointment.
When strength matters, go to apfabllp.com. Precision built to last, from heavy-duty aluminum structural welding using TIG, MIG, and stick to custom metal fabrication designed exactly for your project. Need safety inspections, weld analysis, or 24-hour metal repairs? Trust A&P to get the job done. For quality craftsmanship and dependable service, visit apfabllp.com. That's apfabllp.com. A&P Fabrication and Construction. Built strong, built right.
Oh, look who's here.
Everybody Loves Raymond is on MeTV.
Who told you that?
Raymond!
America's #1 classic TV network.
Nothing even comes close.
Enjoy 2 back-to-back episodes every weeknight.
We're doing it twice.
Watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it's all about you, Raymond.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Back to the sports talk you not only want, but need. This is ESPN, 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
All right, back here on the LohDown, the World Cup fever has not gone away. We are all in here. So, all right, here's what I wanted to do. Thought to myself, I've got my thoughts on how we're going to match up against Bosnia. We've even talked with Blake Purser. We're going to get Johnny Mace's take as well. But let's hear from some of the soccer analysts that have been on ESPN and other forums as well. So we've compiled some clips for you. When you start and you talk about, what this U.S. team looks like and what they're going to be moving forward, this was Frank LeBeuf. And, because there's been this conversation, too, like, hey, is there this level of pressure? What's this going to look like moving forward? Frank LeBeuf says, no, he's optimistic about where the U.S. is, what they've done so far, and what they have the chance to do moving forward.
I'm very positive about the United States national team, and I don't really bother by the last game. I mean, there was a rotation system planned by the coach, and it can happen. It's better to rest some players if you want to have a chance to go far in the competition. So, and I've been very, very impressed by the 2 first games that the American played and the way they played, and I like the verticality of the game, the pace of the game, the composure as well. So I'm very optimistic about the future, especially the next game, and I'm pretty sure they're going to go through.
I hope he is correct in that regard. You look at the opponent though, and you sit there and you say this is a Bosnia team that has nothing to lose. They have some talent. They've done some things well. And overlooking them is always going to be a factor. I think in this case, it actually makes a lot of sense given what's in front of you. Jeremy Schaap, ESPN reporter, gave his thoughts on why the U.S. can't afford to overlook Bosnia in tonight's match.
The last time the U.S. beat a European team, it was 5 years ago against Bosnia. I think they got a red card in the 40th minute. You could say that outcome result was somewhat anomalous. This is a different team anyway. Not as strong a Bosnia team. But look at this tournament. Look at the outcomes we've seen. Strange things happen. This is a team that knocked Italy out of World Cup qualifying. Is it a team when you look at, the bracket and say to yourselves, okay, we should beat this team? Yeah. I think we're going to be, I'm sure we are already heavily favored, right? But this is a tough, gritty team, which has a lot of guys who've been battle tested. They come up with big results against soccer powers. So for this U.S. team, I would be surprised if it isn't to some degree a challenge.
And there's a great point. And you know what else I'd say about it? If you're kind of sitting there going, hey, the U.S. is the better team, they're at home, like, what do you need? Look no further than most of the knockout matches so far. England's a much better team than the Congo. I mean, it was some absolutely stressful moments coming down the stretch for them. Germany is no doubt a better team than Paraguay. They lost in PKs. They're at home right now. You can make an argument the Netherlands was better than Morocco, if not certainly a toss-up. Brazil had to have heroics against Japan. Canada struggled with South Africa, not saying they're significantly better than them, but still. And then, as I said yesterday, Norway had some real moments of doubt against Ivory Coast. The only teams that haven't had those real stressful moments so far are France and Mexico. And, you can argue that Bosnia is a better team than Ecuador is. I don't know about Bosnia being better than Sweden, but regardless, you got to show up. And hopefully this team kind of takes the pride in that and gets on the board early. They've done a nice job getting out to early starts so far in this tournament. I'd love if they can do it again. Craig Burley, another soccer analyst, he gave his thoughts on how the U.S. can find their way through and stay on and stay alive in this tournament.
Do what they did against Paraguay.
Okay.
Play with pace, play with quality, and play with confidence. They look like a side in the Paraguay game in particular to open this tournament. When you're on home soil, that opening game, you are under pressure because the whole of America's, well, not whole, but a lot of America's eyes are on you. The world is on you.
Yeah.
They call it soccer. They don't know what they're doing and all that ignorant stuff that goes on from outside the US. And the US men's national team showed the world the Paraguay game they can play.
Yeah.
And I think they enjoyed and embraced the pressure of that moment. And if they can harness that and play like that again, they will beat Bosnia and Herzegovina because they're a pretty average side.
Okay.
I think I can see a pathway without getting ahead of ourselves. I can see a pathway to the quarterfinals if the US play well.
They've got to do that. They've got to do that. And playing well is hopefully something they're going to do. Lastly here, Christian Pulisic. We know he was injured. We know it was in doubt at times, his availability. He gives it a run there late in the last match against Turkey. He at least gets some run underneath him. He's had more time to recover. Sounds like everything's all good. We haven't heard anything that jeopardizes Pulisic's ability to play. And no doubt the Americans are going to need him. Jeff Cameron and Breck Shea gave their thoughts on why Christian Pulisic is the key for this American team moving forward.
I still think Christian Pulisic is going to be a big, big factor for the U.S. tonight. He needs to be his energetic self. He needs to be dynamic. He needs to be sharp. His movement off the ball, but the way he makes players around him better, it's phenomenal.
We've seen so far from him more of that and more because this is the game. He's been excellent. He changes the game. Like he said, he takes players away from other players because they have to. They have to respect him. He's that good.
Hopefully, Pulisic comes to play, man. I would love, you know what I'd love? Like a nice, breathable 3-1 victory. Can we get a 3-1 victory? I'd love 3-1. I think a goal early, right? A goal early, get up 1-0. Let's feel good about ourselves. You know what? I'm not even going to be greedy. 1-0 headed to the half. So you're kind of sitting there going, man, we just... Early second half, we put another one on the board. We go up 2-0. Everybody's like, all right, let's breathe a little bit. Let's relax. But then Bosnia will get theirs. They'll get one on the board. We know defensively we have had some holes. They're a little vulnerable to the counterattack at times. Goalkeeping is still a little bit of a question mark. But then we put our foot down late. We get one more goal in, like, let's say the 81st minute. Let's mark that down. 81st minute, we'll put them away. We'll go up 3-1. We'll celebrate in the streets. We're moving on to the round of 16. That's my official U.S. men's national team prediction. James was nodding his head throughout most of that, so it sounds like he's in agreement. And then when I said 1-0 at the half, he's like, that's a little dicey. It's okay. I want to feel that pit in my stomach as a sport watcher, right? I want to have that pit at times, like, And I'm sure, look, if you're up 1-0 for that long, there's going to be some moments where Bosnia gets a run and you got to go, and then, all right, it's wide. It's good. We're still in it. So I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be a 3-1 victory for the Americans tonight. I'm trying to will that into existence. All right, we'll do this. We'll take a timeout. When we return, we'll switch gears a little bit. I had a really fun weekend watching Red Sox baseball, not like appointment watching, but they were on, and it was the Red Sox-Yankees, so I watched them twice. I was texting Chaston Tavares about it. We got to recap some of those happenings. and we'll get some other stuff with him as well. We'll do that after the break. It's the LohDown on a Friday.
This is the LohDown with D-Loh, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
I tell you guys about my friends over at Small Sliders all the time. 2 convenient locations in Lafayette, whether it's Ambassador Caffrey or Bertrand Drive. They are bringing you fresh sliders, fries, milkshakes, drinks, queso, small sauce, all that great stuff you know and love. We've told you about their catering packages. We've told you how to get rewards points with the rewards system. And we've got something else going on that's special and exciting in the month of July. The Lafayette Small Sliders Eating Contest. It's going to be during the Lafayette Anniversary Bash on Saturday, July 25th at 4611 Ambassador Caffrey Parkway. During the Anniversary Bash, which is going to have bounce houses, games for the kids, live music, and more, there will be an eating contest. If you want to sign up for this, think you can put down sliders with the best of them, visit ESPNSouthwestLouisiana.com, click on the Small Sliders sign-up sheet, and you can be a part of it. It's the Small Sliders Eating Contest, Saturday, July 25th. Sign up on our website today.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros took one back from the Minnesota Twins yesterday with a 6-4 win in Daikin Park. A 6-run fourth inning powered by Yordan Alvarez grand slam was the difference maker in the contest for the Astros. First pitch in the rubber match is tonight at 7:10 p.m. in Houston, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. In the World Cup yesterday, Norway knocked out Ivory Coast with a 2-1 victory. Norway will now move on to face Brazil on July 5th. After that, France crushed Sweden 3-0 to knock out the Swedes and send France through to play Paraguay on July 4th. And lastly, yesterday, Mexico defeated Ecuador 2-0 at the Azteca. They'll now move on to play the winner of today's England versus Congo DR match, which will kick off at 11 o'clock this morning. Then in the second match today, Belgium will play Senegal at 3 p.m. Then to close out the night, the United States will face Bosnia and Herzegovina at Levi Stadium in San Francisco. The U.S. is a 1.5 favorite over Bosnia, and kickoff is at 7 p.m. tonight. New Orleans Pelicans re-signed center DeAndre Jordan for his 19th season in the league. Jordan last season with the Pels averaged under 4.5 points a game and just under 6.5 rebounds a game. Legendary former Southern baseball coach and Hall of Famer Roger Cador passed away yesterday at the age of 74. Cador coached the Jags for 33 seasons and won 14 SWAC titles and 2 HBCU national championships in his time in Baton Rouge. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit B1Bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Need peace of mind with your estate planning? Turn to Beal & Aber, your trusted hometown lawyers. At Beal & Aber, we make estate planning simple and stress-free, ensuring your legacy is secure and your future is in the right hands. Don't wait. Schedule your consultation today at BealAbear.com. That's BealAbear.com. Safeguarding your tomorrow today.
Every weeknight, MeTV has your laugh therapy.
To chase away the blues or the olive drabs.
With 2 hours of MASH at 5.
This guy's ankle has tickled my funny bone.
Followed by the Andy Griffith Show at 7.
Doggone it, Otis. You're supposed to be hugging me when I'm arresting you.
But he likes you, Barney.
Weeknights on MeTV.
Watch Meet TV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certifications. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the LHSAA, are the 110,000 high school sports students in Louisiana. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Do yourself a favor and download the free ESPN Southwest Louisiana mobile app, powered by Moss Motors BMW for your Android or Apple devices. Download the app by searching ESPN 1037 Lafayette or ESPN 1041 Lake Charles. It's just that easy to take Southwest Louisiana's sports station with you wherever you go.
The LohDown returns. Our first guest of the day is Chasten Tavares. This is the time he normally joins us, but a couple days early because we will not be here on Friday. So, Chasten, kind enough to move some stuff around. What's going on, buddy? I know I actually am coming at you live during a Red Sox game. That's probably a first.
Yeah, it is a first. I don't know if that's a good thing, but yeah. No, it's going all right. Look, getting ready for a holiday weekend. The month of July. When the month of July rolls around, that means training camp will kind of start to be here before we know it.
I know you were very busy late last week because of the news that Albert Simeon was committing to Notre Dame, which was certainly somewhat of a surprise, at least for a lot of people. What do you make of his decision, LSU being in the mix, and what his chances are to succeed with the Irish?
Yeah, I mean, look, personally, I think it was always, to me, especially over the last couple of weeks, it had been trending Notre Dame and Texas A&M. He had obviously just came off the visit to Notre Dame, and they say let's go ahead and announce the commitment. So he goes. Look, it's funny because he didn't tell anybody. I joked with Sam Houston football coach Chad Davis. He goes, "Yeah, I didn't know until he announced it." And I went, "Did you though?" And he went, "No." He said, "I actually told him to surprise me." So when he deked him out with the LSU hat, because I don't think any of us thought he was going to pick LSU. At least I didn't. I don't think the coaching staff did. So when he deked everybody with LSU, all his buddies went crazy, which he joked around with them later on about that, how they all went crazy over him picking LSU. Coach Davis said, "Hey, look, he kind of deked me out a little bit, but ultimately he goes with Notre Dame." And look, he says, the faith base obviously plays a big factor into it, and obviously their O-line history as well. He liked that as well. So not too big of a surprise, but certainly, one of the biggest, if not the biggest commit in this area's history. Certainly a pretty big one. He's considered to be, top 5 interior offensive lineman in the entire country.
No doubt, a pretty big one there. So, all right, let's get to the Red Sox, Chas, and that's what I want to talk about with you today. I had a good time. It's probably the most Sox baseball I've seen since they were in Houston. Watched a good bit of that Yankees-Red Sox series, the Saturday broadcast, the Sunday night baseball broadcast, and Sunday night baseball was an unbelievable game. I mean, first of all, Sonny Gray just turning the clock back, the no-hitters going. Then it's Chapman in the ninth, and I know Chapman had been used a lot, but he's been awesome, and then he gives it up. And I said this, too, on the show when I was talking about that game. The 2-run lead and the bloop single to start the ninth, you already know. You know what's happening, right? Like the bloop single that finds a hole, you're like, all right, this is not going to be a stress-free inning. That's what we're dealing with.
I knew it immediately as soon as we gave up the no-hitter. As soon as Sonny Gray, gave up the no-hitter, I knew we would find a way to lose. Which, by the way, live play-by-play for you, the Nationals just hit another homer, so it's 3-0.
Tough.
Literally 5 seconds ago. Look, as soon as as soon as the no-hitter was given up, I knew that they would somehow find a way to lose that game. And then, obviously, it's weird how that game kind of played out because I kind of mentioned it to you, just how good that outfield is. It's one of, if not the best defensive outfields in all of baseball. And, for Wilyer Abreu to, come up and throw that ball to third, and you just throw the ball to second and you win the game in regulation. Instead, you go to extras. And I had no faith. Absolutely no faith that the 4A guys would pull it out, but they did so.
And I mean, I know it means more against New York, and you heard this stuff too, but and I wonder, hey, is it one of those things that can spark a clubhouse, or is it like one of those things where you go from playing the Yankees to then playing the Nationals the next day, and now it's like a hangover effect? Although they did win the first game the next day. What's your take on whether or not that can spark them a little bit?
It can, and it has over the last couple of years. Now the thing is they had played better baseball. I know we hadn't talked in a little bit, but they go on a road trip to Seattle, and they take 2 of 3 from Seattle. Then you go to Colorado, and you blow the first and third game, in which going into Friday's game against Colorado, or Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day that was at this point, Monday's game against Colorado, they were 32-0. When leading after 7 innings, and they lose 2 games in that Colorado series, leading after 7 innings. And so you take care of business in those, you're automatically going from a 7-3 kind of 10-game stretch, it could have been a 9-1 stretch. They've been playing better baseball, but it's all about how you use it. I mean, look, last year they sweep the Yankee, or they take a series from the Yankees in June and they turn it into an 11-game winning streak. It turned a season around. This year, you're obviously on a 7-3 run. You get the Nationals, who, by the way, it's not your typical Nationals, because look, this is a team that scored the most runs in baseball this year. They've scored more runs than anybody. And look, they've scored, but obviously there's been a lot of dramatic in it this series with all with Wilson Contreras kind of at the center of it. But look, had a chance to take a series. They just doesn't look like it's going to be that way.
When you look around too, man, I've been so fascinated by the American League as a whole, and both our teams are involved in it. But yet it's like, okay, somebody's going to figure their stuff out, right? Like somebody's going to. We're not going to have 4 84-win teams in the playoffs. So who's it going to be?
And I think that's kind of where the Red Sox are at. It's like everybody wants to sell. When quite honestly, I think the Red Sox are a much better team than most of the American League. Just alone with the starting rotation. The starting rotation, this the pitching staff in a whole, might be and maybe one of if not the best in all of baseball. Obviously, it takes a hit yesterday with Connolly Early going down, but. Look, they've been spectacular, and that alone, makes you better than a lot of the American League, because a lot of the league can't pitch. It's a lot of offense, and that's the Red Sox problem, is they don't have offense. And so that's kind of where it's like, as wide open as the league is, it's also all muddled up, and it's. I mean, look, if the Yankees are the best team that the American League has to offer, we should just forfeit it all and just let the National League duke it out. That's where I'm at.
This is a crazy stat that I came across when looking at this stuff. The Red Sox are second in the American League in runs allowed to only the Yankees. The Astros have given up 104 more runs than the Red Sox have and have 6 more wins than they do.
Yeah, no, when you start, this is not the year to look at your advanced stats, because obviously you look at run differential. Run differential is typically a pretty good measure of where teams are at in the standings on the year. The Red Sox,
they're +1
coming into the Yankee series, had the worst record in the AL. They were tied with Colorado for the worst record in the American League. They had the third most, I think, the third best run differential. It was, I think, at the time +4 or something like that. Not a good year to use some of the normal stats that you would typically look at.
Yeah, there's 4 teams in the American League that have a positive run differential, and the Red Sox are one of them at +1, which doesn't even seem possible.
Surprising after they lost by 7 last night.
Right, given the idea that these teams play games against each other, and a positive run differential for one team means a negative for the other, it doesn't seem possible to have that few teams in the positive numbers. No, there's one team in the American League Well, I guess there's a handful. No, okay, there's 6 because I'm not counting the division winners. All right, so there are 6 teams out of the 15 that have a positive run differential. But still, I mean, there's so many. Like the Astros are negative 41, and yet they're still only 2 games below 500. So anyway,
that's a bad division. That is a bad division.
Well, it is, but then it's Texas now's won 6 straight. Seattle still has the pitching talent. It's weird. Like that's why I keep asking myself, who is going to figure it out and go on a 20 out of 25, 20 out of 30 game stretch where they play really well? Because that's all it's going to take, and you're going to be a playoff team.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy, and that's why where I'm at is for the Red Sox, sell these guys. Sell the guys that you can. Whether it's Aroldis Chapman or Sonny Gray, Sonny Gray has been just about better than anybody this year in all of baseball. I know the Braves want him, the Cubs want him. Get something for some of these guys, that are going to bring back some good value. Because look, I'm down to set the market, especially with so many teams right now who think they are in it. Let's be real, they're not.
That is a great point, and that is why we've had our fair share of conversations. I still don't like expansion in any, but this is the second time today. I just said all right, World Cup expansion, I thought it was dumb, and now we get this great round of 32, and the stars are shining, and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe they were onto something. The baseball thing, hey, expansion's dumb, and I still think it is, but at the same time, now all these teams don't have a reason to be the worst team in baseball history, which is still crazy because it was an expanded format in which the White Sox were trying to lose 140 games. But look at Chicago. How about Jimmy G's team running the Central right now? I mean, it's upside down.
The White Sox are a lot of fun to watch. I've watched a lot of their games, obviously, because Jim's a big fan and we talk all a lot. But that's a team that's a lot of fun, and they're still trying to get healthy. It's a young pitching staff. I joked with him the other day. I said, look, be amazing. Be interested to see where this team would be with a guy like Garrett Crochet, huh? just a year removed from the Garrett Crochet trade. And he said, yeah, we didn't need him at the time, but my God, we could use him right now. Funny note while we're talking baseball.
Yeah.
As the Red Sox and Nationals are in a commercial break, this game's on the brink of being a disaster. 3-0, bases loaded, nobody out. The owners have purchased, or I guess put in we could call it a barter spot on MLB TV for how they've proposed a cap and a floor.
They're airing that in the commercial breaks?
They're airing that. I've seen it 4 times today, and we're in the 4th inning.
That is incredible. I'd love if the Players Association would just fire back with like a classic HR labor dispute video, just informing the public.
Especially on all days of today with Bobby B Day.
It's incredible stuff. All right, man. Well, look, I'm enjoying watching the Red Sox try to put something together. Everybody's a winner when the Yankees lose. So the weekend was fun. I enjoyed it. And we'll get to talk about this stuff again. Maybe they'll get back in the mix. Who knows?
Honestly, I hope not. But yeah, it's fun to talk about, I guess.
What is I got this for you. When is Chaston Tavares ready for football season? This has been kind of a topic of the day. It doesn't have to be today. When is that part of your brain flip on?
Logistics stuff is going to start. Obviously, high school stuff is kind of already, that already gets the ball kind of in motion. I mean, look, in the last week, I've already started to look forward to a little bit. We're talking broadcast teams on the year at McNeese. So, it's starting to get there. In the next couple of weeks, we'll have, I think in the middle of July, we'll have Southland Conference Media Days. So it's starting to get to that point.
You got anything on this McNeese squad that's been on your mind of late?
It might be a little too early for that.
All right, that is a fair. That's I'm finding where the line is, and you just gave me where the line is, so that's perfect because I'm the same way. So I like that.
We're on logistics right now. We're not on to the ball talk yet.
We're thinking facilities. We're thinking let's get this operation rolling. We'll worry about the guys that are going to be playing the game in a little bit. I like that.
Right. I love it.
All right, Chaston Tavares, enjoy the holiday, man. Enjoy the weekend. We'll talk again soon.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. You guys have a good weekend.
That is our friend Chaston Tavares. He took some time out of watching the Red Sox get pummeled to talk to us, and he is right. The bases are loaded. Nobody's out. It's not looking good for the Sox right now. Hey, maybe they're going to get out of the jam. You know what? If they get out of this jam unscathed, we'll update you on the end of the hour. For now, let's take a timeout. Let's get to the end of that hour. We've got plenty more to get to. We do have a poll question of the day to introduce. if you're catching our drift this week, there's been a bit of a theme. You probably figured it out by now. So we'll extend that theme a day longer. Tell you about it. Get you set up for the second hour. It's the LohDown on a Wednesday. Hang out with us.
This is the LohDown with D-Loh, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Make sure you celebrate America's 250th birthday with Lafayette Stars and Stripes, held this Saturday, Park International in downtown Lafayette. It's getting close. Obviously, it has snuck up on me. July the 1st, man. I guess June having 30 days. I don't know if that's part of it, but you flip the calendar, you realize, oh my goodness, it is actually July. The exact halfway point of the year 2026 is today. Is that startling to as many of you as it is to me? We're closer to 2027 than we are to 2025. Anyway, I'm getting off track. We've got local pop-up shops, kids' activities, food vendors. The musical lineup is stacked. It's got Sold Out, Rusty Matwire and Zydeco Crush, and DJ Digital. And, of course, there's going to be fireworks at night. This is a free family event. Make sure to mark your calendars this Saturday, Lafayette Stars and Stripes, presented by Lafayette Consolidated Government, LUS, LFT Fiber, Serving Good Vibes, AVA, and Delta Media Corp.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
The best businesses aren't just businesses, they're neighbors. Here's a message from a proud certified South Louisiana business.
Brobridge Truck Stop Casino. They have the newest games around. Hot seat drawings and monthly specials like no one else. Located on the Brobridge Highway and on the banks of the Vermilion River. Come out today and try your luck at the Brobridge Truck Stop Casino.
When you support local businesses, you strengthen the communities we call home. Shop local, support local, certified South Louisiana.
Stop smoking with Alex Goen Patented Hypnosis.
My name's Robin Fletcher. I've smoked for 46 years. I went to a seminar in March. I took my 3 sisters and my brother-in-law and my sister's best friend and them went. None of them have smoked a cigarette, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
My name is Jen Carpenter. I went to a seminar to stop smoking, and it worked.
The only stop smoking method in America proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office because it reprograms your subconscious. Alex Goen breaks your connection to cigarettes, coffee, stress, driving, even other smokers. No cravings, irritability, or weight gain. You walk in a smoker and you walk out free. Only $59.99 or your money back. Stop Smoking Seminar Saturday, July 18th, the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome at 2 p.m. Weight loss at 11 a.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN. alexgoen.com.
You've never seen prices this low at Regional Homes of Opelousas. From June 26th through July 3rd, we're clearing out all inventory during our biggest clearance event of the year, the Red, White, and Blue sale. Look for red, white, and blue tagged homes across the lot. Everything must go. These move-in ready homes are priced to sell fast, and with deals this good, it's first come, first served, so do not wait. Stop by today on 14704 Highway 190 in Opelousas to tour our discounted homes before the sale begins, or visit regionalhomesopelousas.com/red tag to learn more.
Imagine building your dream backyard pool without ever leaving your couch. With Duplessis Builders, you can go shop our in-ground gunite pool packages online, start to finish. Browse our pool designs, compare features, see exactly what's included, and choose the package that fits your style and budget. Once you purchase, our team takes over. From permit and excavation to gunite decking and final startup, you click, we build, you swim. Your backyard upgrade is just a few clicks away. Visit duplessisbuilders.net and buy your pool online today.
You know the routine. Eat, sleep, sports talk, repeat.
Well, up and at 'em. We're here.
Here is more daily sports talk from ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles.
All right, we're back here on the LohDown, wrapping up hour number 1. By the way, it is officially Conference Realignment Day. So, for those of you unfamiliar, the academic calendar is the way that a lot of these collegiate sports calendars operate. Makes sense, right? Semesters end. So the summertime is when you have your official turnover. Despite the fact that it's the midpoint of the year, it's basically a new year because the new sports seasons are going to start for these schools in the coming months. So if you're moving conferences, July 1st is typically the date you do it. The most notable for our purposes is Louisiana Tech. They are officially a Sun Belt Conference member as of today. They've been welcomed to the league. All the teams in the league posting their cute little welcome messages to them. Those welcome messages probably won't be so friendly when they visit stadiums in the conference this coming fall and beyond. Should be fun to have Tech back in the league. I've said it before. I think it's a good rivalry for Louisiana Raging Cajuns athletics to have in all sports, especially baseball, especially football, especially basketball. And softball should be pretty good as well. So I think it's great to have them back in the league for that reason. It also makes the Sun Belt a little bit more geographically succinct, which is an anomaly in today's world, and I am all for it. Some other ones. Sacramento State, they are now a member of the MAC. That's not so geographically friendly, right? You're like, the MAC? You mean like Buffalo, New York? They're in the MAC. Yep, so is Sacramento State. Oh, well. North Dakota State, they are in the Mountain West. That one makes more sense. You go, all right, the Mountain West, North Dakota State. Of course, they've been a power in football for a long time. A lot of people think they're going to run into the Mountain West and win it right away because a lot of the good Mountain West teams are now, that's right, in the Pac-12, including Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Texas State, and Utah State. That's a lot of states. And 3 of them aren't even states. Boise, Fresno, and San Diego, but you get it. State University. Anyway, that's an old joke. Northern Illinois is also going to the Mountain West, so they leave the MAC. So Sacramento State replaces them in the MAC. Northern Illinois was definitely a school that made a lot of sense for the MAC, but now they are gone. And UTEP is also now in the Mountain West. They got new uniforms yesterday. UTEP, I don't know if UTEP's no, you know what? I shouldn't burn any bridges with the folks over in El Paso. You know, they didn't do anything to me. I was just going to say, I don't think UTEP's won anything of significance in my entire lifetime in any major sport, but I shouldn't say that because I haven't fact-checked it. Their football team's always been bad. You know, they've had a couple good years in basketball, though, I think. So, you know what? We'll lay off the Miners for a little bit. They got a good set of logos. I like what they're doing over there with that orange. And then, we already told you, Louisiana Tech's in the Sun Belt. So there you go. Those are the conference moves. Steve Helwick, college football writer, compiled those into one tweet to make it easier for me to keep track of them. So shout out to him for that. But we'll see what the future looks like in the Sun Belt with Tech now officially a part of it. Our poll question of the day here on a Wednesday, we are asking you about the NBA, the most patriotic moment in NBA history. The options we gave you, the 1992 Dream Team, David Robinson winning the MVP, of course, with his time connected to the military academy, and then the 2008 Redeem Team. Which one is it? And by a landslide right now in the voting, the 92 Dream Team is leading the way. There is 14% of the vote going for other, which makes some sense. But yeah, the Redeem Team, I don't think I felt, and I was, this was a good time for me, right? 9 years old, I was kind of like all into the NBA. I had been a huge fan of Chris Paul and David West and the New Orleans Hornets at the time. So I was in on basketball at that time. I don't think I felt a certain type of way about that 08 team because, again, it was about the competition they were against, right? Like that's my problem with it. So for me, yeah, going back, watching the Dream Team documentary, all the storylines that came out of that, the personalities involved with it, all that stuff, I think I'll go the 92 Dream Team over the 08 Redeem Team. And I do absolutely think David Robinson's entire story is incredible, and shout out to that. Don't want to leave that without mentioning it. So we got a lot left to get to. That is the first hour in the books here of the LohDown on a Wednesday. Feels like a Friday, though, because it is my last day of the week. We still do have 2 interviews to get to. We'll start it off. Our buddy Zach Nagy covering the LSU Tigers. Interesting week for recruiting. Not quite as high-flying. The last few times we talked to Zach, he's been telling you about how they've been killing it on the recruiting trail. This week, maybe not so much. So we'll get to his thoughts on what's going down right now on that front. Got some other just classic off-season rumors to talk about. We'll do that with him to start the hour. Then Johnny Meza, our World Cup correspondent, gives us the red card rundown at the bottom of the hour, 2:30. Full-blown USA preview and some other storylines of what's been a magnificently entertaining World Cup tournament so far. We'll mix in a couple other thoughts and topics, maybe some Astros stuff, and then we'll have you on your way. A full hour left to go. Stay tuned. This is the LohDown.
Celebrate America's 250th birthday, powered by Regional Homes of Opelousas and ESPN 1037 and 1041. We're giving you the chance to win a 250th Anniversary of America flag and flagpole kit. Listen on air for the American Trivia question, and you could be one of our lucky winners. We're giving away 5 flag and 5 flagpole kits during the week of July 4th. Thanks to our friends at Regional Homes of Opelousas. Salute and happy 250th birthday, America.
When strength matters, go to apfabllp.com. Precision built to last, from heavy-duty aluminum structural welding using TIG, MIG, and stick to custom metal fabrication designed exactly for your project. Need safety inspections, weld analysis, or 24-hour metal repairs? Trust A&P to get the job done. For quality craftsmanship and dependable service, visit apfabllp.com. That's apfabllp.com. A&P Fabrication and Construction. Built strong, built right.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Karen Crow Lafayette, KLCJ-FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.
Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. In the wake of LeBron James' decision to leave L.A., Lakers started the process of remaking their roster. In a blockbuster trade, Los Angeles acquired center Walker Kessler from Utah in a sign and trade. L.A. sending picks to the Jazz. He'll get a 4-year, $130 million deal from the Lakers. In addition to getting a premier center for star Luka Doncic, L.A. also agreed to deals with free agent guards Quentin Grimes and Colin Sexton. ESPN NBA analyst Quentin Richardson.
Anytime you got a guy like Luka, and we've seen what he does when he's healthy and he gets into the playoffs, he's a game changer. He can go, supernova and lead his team, but now they're getting him the supplemental parts and the assets that he needs to be able to go forward. If they can get some depth in that bench, the Lakers could be looking like a problem moving forward.
Big free agent splash by the Maple Leafs on this day one of NHL free agency. 3-year, $21 million contract with 2-time Stanley Cup champion goalie Sergei Bobrovsky. Team USA seeks to win its first World Cup elimination game in 24 years tonight against Bosnia and Herzegovina in the round of 32.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Thursday, we'll continue to react to all the happenings around NBA free agency, plus break down the U.S. men's national team's game against Bosnia. It's on Sports from 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Dawson Iserloh prides himself on taking a deep dive to uncover all the relevant data about the sports and sports teams he loves. And now he's sharing all those facts inside his big brain with all of you. Here is the LohDown with D-Loh on ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
It is the LohDown, hour number 2 of 2. ESPN 1037 in Lafayette, 1041 in Lake Charles, anywhere you are with the ESPN Southwest Louisiana mobile app, and, of course, streaming live on YouTube, ESPN_SWLA. We are inside the Beal and Hebert studios in Upper Lafayette. It is a Wednesday that feels more like a Friday for me, at least. Last day of my week. We will have 3 local shows tomorrow, all the way up until 1 o'clock, and then we will be closing early for the holiday weekend. So keep that in mind. We will air AFR, I do believe, tomorrow afternoon, though, at 3 o'clock. So just for the Beal and Hebert shows, that's where we're closing early. We still have a lot to get to today, though. Of course, heavy emphasis on the World Cup. I am fired up to watch Team USA tonight. But we do start this hour with our friend Zach Nagy. He joins us to talk the latest in LSU recruiting. First off, Zach, what's going on, man? How are you?
Yeah, man, doing it on this end. And like you said, I'm juiced to watch USA tonight. I cannot wait to see how that unfolds. But nonetheless, LSU recruiting world is obviously a hot topic right now. Excited to talk a little bit about it with you.
We could stay on the World Cup for a minute, man. Like, I get the sense you're like me. I don't think you're a huge soccer guy most of the time, but have you, like me, kind of caught the fever a little bit, been enjoying this tournament?
No doubt, man. Like, if I sat here and told you that I watch soccer routinely, I'd be lying straight up to you. But who doesn't watch the World Cup, especially when you're in the round of 32? Team USA's cooking, Pulisic's back. I'm ready to see how this shakes out tonight. Really, really intrigued about their draw and what they could ultimately do as we start to get into the nitty-gritty part of this World Cup.
I am with you on that 100%. Okay, we'll go back to LSU here, Zach. And you've been telling us, like, they have really been cooking on the recruiting trail. It's been a lot of hot weeks for Lane Kiffin. Feels like you've had another commitment or another big visit weekend to tell us about last, 4 or 5 times you've been coming on ever since, really the last couple months. That changed a little bit. It's been actually a week where LSU had a few misses. So I know the name, the kid out of Sam Houston High who's going to Notre Dame is a big one, but tell us about what was maybe a little bit of a down week for LSU on the recruiting trail.
Yeah, no doubt. Albert Simeon is obviously a really big fish, and that's the Lake Charles native out of Sam Houston, like you said, and a player that LSU, of course, coveted and thought the world of because he is the number one offensive lineman in the state. But ultimately, when you look at the other potential suitors like Texas A&M, Notre Dame, et cetera, they were upping the ante here, Dawson. They were really, really prioritizing him. And LSU holds a commitment from one of the top offensive tackles in America in Terrence Smith. He's the number 5 rated OT in the country, and they think the world of him. They think that this is a guy who could potentially be one of, if not the best offensive linemen in the country. Did that lead them to pull off of Albert Simeon a little bit? Potentially. But at the end of the day, after catching up with Albert on numerous occasions, the family-like atmosphere up in South Bend, paired with Marcus Freeman up there, really set the tone for him to land in that 2027 class. Really happy for him. It's a really good fit for him and his family, and I think he's going to thrive up there for sure.
What else is going on right now? I know this is the time of year we're going to start to get a lot of kids like to make the decision early, right, and not kind of have to worry about it when they're worrying about maybe their senior season of high school football. So what else should we be aware of as far as guys that could be making their moves here in the near future or have done so in the last couple days?
Yeah, no doubt, Dawson. I could go on for days here, so I'll try to keep it as short and sweet as possible. But, of course, last weekend I caught up with Jalen Brewster in a conversation that really was productive, ultimately trimming his list to LSU and Texas Tech. This is the number 1 player in America who's currently committed to the Red Raiders and remains pledged to them at this stage. LSU is giving him a lot to think about, utilizing the resources in Baton Rouge paired with Ed Orgeron, continuing to recruit him in full force, giving the Jalen Brewster camp a lot to think about here. And he told me that he's going to try to come to a final decision within the next week or two, that being staying put on his Texas Tech pledge or flipping to another school where LSU is certainly at the forefront of that conversation. So Jalen Brewster is one that a lot of people are watching right now. Easton Royal, again, that is the hottest topic on the recruiting scene, it feels like. Will he flip to LSU? Will he stay with the Texas Longhorns? That's to be seen. But those are the 2 big-time heavy hitters, Dawson, that everybody across the recruiting landscape is watching at this stage. A couple others that LSU fans should be keeping tabs on, of course, is going to be Ruston, Louisiana 4-star safety Jaden Anding. He was expected to commit today at 12:30 between LSU and Ole Miss, elected to delay his decision. Nonetheless, I still like where LSU stands there. And then there's a potential flip to keep tabs on, and that's Greedy James out of the Lone Star State, currently committed to the Texas Longhorns, number 5 rated safety in the country. I have a crystal ball pick in for LSU to flip Greedy James away from the Texas Longhorns tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time. I'm really excited to see how that unfolds. But those are 4 players that LSU is continuing to swing for the fences for in the recruiting scene, and they're really starting to try to close out this 2027 recruiting class, like you said, where a lot of these programs like to do that during the summer before the fall.
It is certainly a good piece of information and good names to keep an eye on. Zach Nagy, 247 Sports, joins us here, the latest in LSU football-related topics. All right, man, I'll go with a schedule thing. I'll throw one out at you. I know we're so early for this stuff, but we all know about the game on September 19th in Oxford that everybody's fired up about. It's going to be the biggest sporting event maybe the state of Mississippi's ever seen. But I didn't even realize until I looked back that's going to be the road opener for this team. Maybe it's just a fun thing. Maybe it's not that big a deal as far as X's and O's and if it helps a team or not. But this team gets Clemson, Louisiana Tech, and their first trip away from Tiger Stadium is that trip to Ole Miss. It is interesting that game is so early in the year.
No doubt. You're talking about just an absolute gut-wrenching start to the year. Of course, Clemson is going to be fun. LSU's the favorite really, really early right now, of course, when you look at the sports books. LA Tech will be a fun tune-up game. And then you hit the road to Oxford, where that atmosphere is going to be nothing short of electric. Probably one of the best atmospheres that we've seen in college football in a really long time, which is, of course, a casual take. But, man, having that as your away opener is ridiculous. And, of course, LSU's juiced for that one. Any player that you ask, they try to kind of soften you up and say that they're looking forward to maybe a Tennessee game or maybe a Texas game. But the one that's circled is no doubt Ole Miss. Ole Miss fans are not shying away from it. Trinidad Chambliss, of course, was at the Manning Passing Academy last weekend, where he continued to dive into how excited he is to play Louisiana State University, as he continued to say. So just the buzz surrounding that one is incredible, and I can't wait to get up there. Lane Kiffin's going to, of course, need the SWAT team, like Chambliss told us at the Manning Passing Academy. So the buzz is incredible, and having that as kind of that away opener is nuts.
Anything else? The Manning Passing Academy is always fun. I went last year. It's always an interesting thing of who's going and kind of what the angles are there. Anything else that you notice from that media frenzy that happens over there?
Yeah, I think just getting the chance to watch John Mateer is what's so unique to me. I love watching his game. I know last year it was tough, dealing with the thumb injury and a lot of inconsistencies from an accuracy perspective and this, that, and the other. But I'm really intrigued to watch John Mateer this upcoming season. I think during the Manning Passing Academy, he got a lot of buzz, of course, throughout the weekend. But nonetheless, really excited to watch him. And obviously him being a participant in the event was one that caught my eye a lot. But it was a slow, of course, weekend down there in Thibodaux. It wasn't that much buzz. No LSU quarterbacks. Of course, Sam Leavitt is fully cleared and ready to roll, but continuing to stay in the building and rehab and stay close to Baton Rouge. So he wasn't down there, nor were any other LSU signal callers. So quiet from an LSU perspective, but nonetheless, it's always a star-studded event with the Mannings and, of course, some of the top signal callers in the country. Always a great time down there in Nichols.
I know you had tweeted about it. Sam Leavitt's added some weight to the frame a little bit. He's full go. They say everything's good. Just what's the latest on how fired up he is and obviously the work he's put in this offseason to make sure he was going to be ready to go come fall camp?
Yeah, for sure, Dawson. I think I try to stay as non-biased as possible when you talk about the LSU Tigers, but Sam Leavitt is one that this coaching staff and those around the building continue to rave about time and time again. And it's not because he was the number one player in the transfer portal and has a really strong track record behind him, but it's what he's doing to get this team prepared for the future. His leadership stands out. His NFL mindset stands out. And they continue to talk about the work ethic that he has. He missed a lot of spring, of course, dealing with that Ellis Frank injury, but came back and was super strong and ready to roll. Like you just said, adding 11 pounds to his frame, continuing to stay in shape, getting quicker, twitchier on the field. So Sam Leavitt's getting a ton of rave reviews, Dawson. He's put on size. He has that five-star mentality paired with, of course, a five-star game. A lot of buzz surrounding Sam Leavitt and what he can do to kind of propel this team under Lane Kiffin. Has an embarrassment of riches to work with on the outside at the receiver positions as well. Really, really excited to see Sam Leavitt in the purple and gold come week one against Clemson.
It's going to be fun, no doubt. It is getting here closer than we imagine. We've got media days in a few weeks, so, man, I'm ready for it. Zach, thank you for your time as always, buddy. Enjoy the long weekend, enjoy the holiday, and we'll catch up again soon.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you. We got 4th of July weekend.
There's Zach Nagy, 247 Sports, covering the Tigers, letting us know the latest on the recruiting front and looking ahead a little bit to that 2026-27 college football season as well. It is crazy, like the date stuff, because, a lot of you have probably been seeing, if you're fans of the video gaming world like I am, the college football video game 27 is dropping. The early access stuff is dropping like in a couple days, and then the actual full game drops like in a week. You've got media days happening in less than 2 weeks. For some conferences, 3 weeks for the SEC. You've got so now all the buzz is going to come out. The big magazines already hit the shelves, right? Our friends Phil Steele and all those stuff, like all that's out in the works now. It's starting to have that smell in the air, but I'm putting it off. I'm putting it off. I'm taking my week here to go, you know what? I'm not thinking about it until Sunbelt Media Days is when I'm really going to turn my brain into football mode. The Tavon Austin highlight tape's not getting played again until at least Media Days. Shout out to the ball knowers out there who enjoy a Tavon Austin highlight tape from time again. Whenever the song comes on, that's just all I think about. Tavon cutting in and out. That got a smile out of James Mesh. Mission accomplished. All right, we'll take a time out here. When we return, we will switch gears a little bit. We'll go just kind of big picture, some other stuff we haven't gotten to yet. The Astros got another win last night. A really fascinating development, and I guess like butterfly effect moment when you look at the ABS system. We talk about how it can change a game. It changed the Astros game significantly last night. So we'll discuss that and a couple other things before we bring on Johnny Meza. It's the LohDown on a Wednesday. Stay tuned.
This is the LohDown with D-Loh, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
How many delicious small sliders can you eat? Want to find out? Go ahead and take part in the Lafayette Small Sliders Eating Contest held during the Lafayette Anniversary Bash on Saturday, July 25th at 4611 Ambassador Caffrey Parkway during the location's Anniversary Bash, which will also feature bounce houses, games for the kids, live music, and more. There will be this eating contest, and if you want to sign up for it, all you have to do is visit our website, ESPNSouthwestLouisiana.com. Click on the Small Sliders sign-up sheet. Get yourself ready to roll for the Small Sliders Eating Contest.
From Tiger Stadium to the Texas state line, ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for live and local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana. We're your official home for the LSU Tigers and Houston Astros. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles also tackles the latest involving the Louisiana Raging Cajuns, McNeese Cowboys, and New Orleans Saints. So keep it locked right here. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Do you know how many tax resolution firms have been forced to close because they were taking advantage of people or have gone out of business? It happens all the time. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. As a matter of fact, there are national tax relief companies that are currently under court orders to cease operations. So if you have IRS issues, do not fall for the threats and scare tactics of the national so-called tax relief companies. The Bryson Law Firm has been doing this for decades. We have a AAA BBB rating, and our entire focus is IRS problems and tax liability issues. An IRS problem is a legal problem. Let the Bryson Law Firm help you get relief the right way. So if you owe back taxes or haven't filed returns in years, it's time to call the Bryson Law Firm and finally resolve your tax issues. Don't put it off any longer. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. LSB filing number LA2519684.
Happy birthday, America. Celebrate our 250th birthday with the largest selection of guaranteed fireworks in Acadiana at Freeman's Discount Fireworks. Their low prices are unbelievable, and all fireworks are guaranteed. They have a huge selection of novelty items to choose from, a large selection of fireworks, and Freeman's Fireworks has the largest selection of artillery shells, assortment packs, and 500-gram cakes. Celebrate America's 250th birthday with your family and the Freeman family with guaranteed fireworks that everyone enjoys. Freeman's Discount Fireworks has two convenient locations in New Iberia. They're building on Jefferson Island Road at Admiral Doyle next to Freeman's Food and Furniture, and the Big Tent on Main Street near the corner of Nelson Canal Road. For the largest selection of guaranteed fireworks at the best prices, shop Freeman's Discount Fireworks. Make it a spectacular Independence Day.
Looking for a great deal on golf this summer? Head to Farm Alley Golf Course for the Sizzlin' Summer Special. Every Tuesday through Thursday, tee off anytime between noon and 3:30 and enjoy 18 holes of championship golf, including a cart for just $55. That's unbeatable summer golf at an unbeatable price. Gather your friends, sharpen your game, and make the most of your afternoons at Farm D Alley Golf Course. Book your tee time today and take advantage of the sizzling summer special, only at Farm D Alley.
You're listening to ESPN 1037 Lafayette and 1041 Lake Charles. Your home for the best local sports talk in Southwest Louisiana.
All right, so look, it's a slippery slope when you start talking about like revisionist history, right? And the butterfly effect is I don't have a better terminology to use it. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But it's this idea that like one change in the history of events changes everything past it, right? And so I understand that like there's a part of me that goes, oh, well, that's just not how it was before. But the Astros won a game last night. And if you missed this, in the fourth inning, the Astros had the bases loaded and 2 outs. Jose Altuve was up, who, by the way, Altuve said before the season started he wasn't going to use the challenge system. And he's used it like the third most of any player. And he's 15 for 21. He's been one of the most successful challengers in the sport, despite the fact that before the season he was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to use it at all, which I love. I love the idea that Altuve has just gotten so excited to like think he's right and call a challenge. And he's been right a ton. So credit to him for that. But anyway, it's a 3-2 count, and it's a pitch that Altuve thinks is outside. He gets rung up. Now, I do think, and Kevin pointed this out earlier, he did the same kind of step towards first thing that Christian Walker did where the umpire said you can't challenge it. Now, I think he was a little quicker with his challenge, to be fair here, but regardless, they give him the challenge. He is right, and the Astros walk in a run. At the time, that makes the game 3-2. Still trailing was Houston. So remember, if this is strike 3, the inning's over, and the Astros score 1 run, it's still 3-1, and nothing else happens. They get this challenge correct. That walks in a run. Altuve gets an RBI and a walk. He's on first base, and then Yordan Alvarez hits a mammoth home run, grand slam, MVP candidate for a reason, and now the Astros lead 6-3. They'd go on to win 6-4. The challenge system won the Astros a baseball game last night. Like, they're not winning that game without it, right? At least if you, if you're saying all the other results are going to hold true, that inning's over, they never scored another run. They got 5 runs off of 1 challenge. It's maybe the best. Some are calling it the greatest challenge in the history of challenges. I might be that person calling it that. I texted Kevin, and I said, the best challenge ever? And he said, especially considering who did it. And then that's when I had to inform Kevin, oh, are you not familiar with the fact that Jose Altuve is one of the most prolific challengers in the history of the sport? Might be the most prolific challenger of balls and strikes calls in the history of the game. And I say history of the game, and obviously that's only meaning 1 year because we've only had this for this season. But it legitimately changed the winner and the loser of last night's baseball game. And so isn't it funny to think about how many other games, and we could do this with so many things, right? Replay in the NFL. How many games before replay the result would have been flipped if you had something? Same thing with baseball where, like, hey, a guy being called safe or out at first base. I know one thing, Armando Galarraga would have a perfect game to his name if we had the replay system in place before Jim Joyce robbed him of a PG. I'll never forget that. I was sick to my stomach. I was a kid. I was sick to my stomach for like 2 weeks about that. Like my parents would find me crying in my room. They go, what's wrong? And I go, Armando Galarraga should have thrown a perfect game, but Jim Joyce called him safe at first. And they're like, son, it's the summertime. Get over it. It meant that much to me. Kind of kidding, kind of not. But anyway, so we could play this game for a long time of like how much would this have changed things. All I know is the Astros would be 42-46 without the challenge system, and they're 43-45, so that's awesome. Alvarez, look, the swing, it's just unbelievable. Like what he's doing right now, and I know it's actually been a little bit of a down stretch for the last couple of weeks. The OPS is at 1,046. Yordan Alvarez has 26 homers and 60 RBIs, and we're on July the 1st. By the way, he's 4 homers away from 200, so that's going to be a pretty nice milestone for the big fella to reach here at some point this season. How about this as well? Yordan Alvarez's career high for homers is only 37. He's on pace to hit about 50 of them this year. So he could sky past that number. His RBI career total is 104. He's on pace for about 115, so he'd pass that as well. And his OPS career high is a 1,067. You know something crazy about how great the career for Yordan Alvarez is? His OPS career high is still in his rookie season. When he jumped onto the scene in 19, played 87 games, hit 27 homers, 78 RBIs, I should say, and had an OPS of 1,067. That's the only season that would match the one he's having right now. The numbers were so down last year in 48 games. The Cat, now he still hit 273. The OPS was only 797 last year. Career low by almost 100 full points. He wasn't healthy. We know that. He is healthy now, and he is carrying this offense. They're fun to watch, though, man, when they're playing well. It's a fun team at times. Josh Hader's back. He's lights out. They play the fireman intro when he comes into the game. It's absolute electricity. His ERA's under 1. It's 0.69 to be exact right now. 8th save of the season. Like, this team has some real elements of being really, really fun. And I think they're just a tick. And I think Kevin's onto something there. The starting pitching has just got to give him a boost. And maybe that's getting Wisniewski and or Blanco, Javier, some of those guys back in the fold. I think that's a great candidate for it. Mike Burrows probably needs to be out of this rotation at some point soon. Imai still, I mean, who knows what Imai you're going to get. We get to watch Imai pitch tonight. So, you know, if you want to roll some dice, you want to flip a coin, you want to play roulette, that's your chances of getting a good outing from him. Who knows? I guess his chances are a little better than hitting in roulette. But it's just been that type of season so far for him in his big league debut. The Rangers won again. They don't lose anymore, I guess. 6 straight for them. They're now 2 above 500, so the Stros are 2 back in the division. They are a game and a half back of Seattle, who's also won their last 2. The A's have faded a bit, 4 games lost in a row, and there are still just 3 teams now that are more than 3 games above 500 in the American League. The Chicago White Sox are 45-40. Shout out to the Northsiders for that. All that being said, though, interesting week and interesting time in Major League Baseball as we get to this kind of, past this halfway threshold into the bigger part of the year. Some of the other storylines, too, you look around the league. The Braves were red hot for a long time. They've had a great start to the season, but they're starting to struggle a little bit. Braves haven't been playing quite as well as they once were. You take a look at their lead in the division, it's down to 2.5. Philadelphia, with all the panic and all the uproar there and the manager change, they have now gotten themselves right back in the mix. So the Marlins are 6 games above 500. Can the Fish do something this year? I like it. I like some of the storylines. Something that, look, I've said it. I think I talked about this a little bit. Bothers me. The University of New Orleans is getting taken over by LSU. A lot of you knew this by now. Today became the official date, so it is now LSU New Orleans. I don't think they had to call it that, but whatever. It's fine. They changed the name. I just still can't believe they changed the color scheme, man. University of New Orleans has operated under the LSU umbrella in the past, and it still went by the University of New Orleans, and it still had blue and silver. They've been the Privateers forever, so the Privateers isn't changing, but they're taking on the purple and gold color scheme. As of now, they're still a Division I entity, okay? So they're going to potentially play against LSU with the name being barely any different and the colors being identical. I just don't see the point in that. It's kind of frustrating to me. Both my parents graduated from UNO. They both take a lot of pride in that. And, they went to the school at a different time, but the athletic programs have had, their different eras. This is a team that has multiple College World Series appearances. I don't know if people realize that about what Ron Maestri got done over there by the lakefront. So I don't get why they had to do it like this. I think this school would have been better off still having its own identity. I guess the idea is LSU thinks if they're going to save it, if they put some of their branding behind it with the colors and the name, that can help it out. Maybe get some enrollment numbers juiced back up and get that school back into the mix. Maybe they'll be right, but it's a pretty sad day for me, especially like I grew up. I've told this story before, but the first sporting events I remember going to, like at the collegiate level, was UNO basketball games. Bo McCaleb. Look him up. Look up Bo McCaleb's numbers one day. Dude was unbelievable at UNO. I was like 5 years old, and I loved it. And so, I've kept track of the program ever since. I was, I did go there briefly when I was in high school. I took dual enrollment classes. I guess that counts. So I don't know. Like, I know James felt this way about Como High closing, and I know that hits even closer to home because it's a place he spent like 4 years of his life and graduated from. As he's like getting that frustrated look on his face right now. I didn't mean to rile him up, but I have that to an extent with UNO, and so it's just like I felt like pretty meaningless. They have their reasons, as I said. Maybe they'll be right. Maybe this will be the best thing for the school moving forward. maybe it'll turn things around for them. But I certainly wish they were still blue and silver. I think they have a sneaky, awesome logo as well. The Privateer, when they rebranded it, thought they did a great job. Anyway, wanted to mix that in while we had some extra time here. Let's do this. We'll take a break. When we return, our World Cup correspondent Johnny Meza joins us. We've got USA to preview. We've got matches to talk about. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. Red Card Rundown. After this, you're listening to the LohDown.
This is the LohDown with D-Loh, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
This game isn't fun. This game is a war.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
Hurry it up, hurry it up, hurry it up.
Powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you.
Come on, let's go, you guys. Get in here, we gotta go fast now.
The Houston Astros took one back from the Minnesota Twins yesterday with a 6-4 win in Daikin Park. A 6-run fourth inning powered by Yordan Alvarez grand slam was the difference maker in the contest for the Astros. First pitch in the rubber matches tonight at 7:10 p.m. in Houston, and you can listen to it right here on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. In the World Cup yesterday, Norway knocked out Ivory Coast with a 2-1 victory. Norway will now move on to face Brazil on July 5th. After that, France crushed Sweden 3-0 to knock out the Swedes and send France through to play Paraguay on July 4th. And lastly, yesterday, Mexico defeated Ecuador 2-0 at the Azteca. They'll now move on to play the winner of today's England versus Congo DR match, which will kick off at 11 o'clock this morning. Then in the second match today, Belgium will play Senegal at 3 p.m. Then to close out the night, the United States will face Bosnia and Herzegovina at Levi Stadium in San Francisco. The U.S. is a 1.5 favorite over Bosnia, and kickoff is at 7 p.m. tonight. New Orleans Pelicans re-signed center DeAndre Jordan for his 19th season in the league. Jordan last season with the Pels averaged under 4.5 points a game and just under 6.5 rebounds a game. Legendary former Southern baseball coach and Hall of Famer Roger Cador passed away yesterday at the age of 74. Cador coached the Jags for 33 seasons and won 14 SWAC titles and 2 HBCU national championships in his time in Baton Rouge. I'm Blake Persher, and you're listening to ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles. Your home for the LSU Tigers and the Houston Astros.
The 2-minute drill has been powered by B1 Bank. Visit b1bank.com to find a location near you. ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is the proud winner of 4 2026 LAB Prestige Awards, including Best Use of Digital Media, Foot's Friday Fury, Best Live On-Site Remote for our Super Bowl Radio Row coverage, Best Promotion for our No Shave November initiative, and Radio Young Professional of the Year for Dawson Iserloh. We're proud of being Southwest Louisiana's sports station and are humbled to be recognized by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters.
Whether it's a tempting text message or a quick glance at your GPS, taking your eyes off the road for just a moment can have serious consequences. This includes turning around or reaching down. Distracted driving includes eating or putting on makeup. Distracted driving is anything that diverts your attention from driving. I'm Lorraine Luquette Vinoy with Service Chevrolet Cadillac, encouraging you to drive smart, drive safe, and keep those eyes on the road, Acadiana. This message is powered by Service Chevrolet Cadillac and this radio station, where safety meets style on the road.
MeTV is America's #1 classic entertainment television network. And here's one of the reasons everybody loves MeTV.
Oh, it's a classic.
The great comedy lineup on weeknights.
This will be fun. Come on.
With MASH.
Loaded with snappy comebacks.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was just funning with Barney.
And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Now we got a show.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 800-961-2730. 800-961-2730. That's 800-961-2730.
D-Loh stays locked in on a lot of sports. Soccer just isn't one of them, except when the World Cup comes around. It's time to head to the pitch for today's Red Card Rundown.
It is the Red Card Rundown. It is our World Cup correspondent, Johnny Meza, coming at us from New Orleans, Louisiana. Johnny, what's going on, man? What a day. I woke up with a little extra pep in my step, man. The U.S. men's team plays tonight. How are you feeling?
Hey, I'm glad, man. If you had bet me $100 about 10 years ago when we were in school together that you'd be excited about a soccer game, I probably would have taken the under on that, or whatever it would be for you not to be excited. So that makes me excited, and I hope to see a win tonight.
It should be exciting, man. We're going to get to that in just a bit. But first off, obviously the round of 32, and look, we had our opinions about the expansion, and yet it has delivered us some bangers. I mean, I know, I get it. Sometimes teams get a little more conservative. The pace slows down, so you're going to get closer matches maybe than you do in the group stages. But, I mean, outside of France and maybe Mexico, everybody's been tested. What have you made of just how challenging it's been for even some of the powers so far?
Yeah, look, I'm really not that surprised by the course that these games have taken. Knockout soccer is very different to the group stage, obviously. You know, teams, especially the underdogs, know that this is their last breath and that every kick may be their last one. So they approach the game a lot differently, which I think leads to more exciting soccer, because if you go down, there's no sense in trying to limit the carnage to a certain amount of goals or even playing for a draw. So you really see teams go for it, and I'm not surprised that some of the bigger teams have had trouble. I think we talked about it last week. The game has developed a lot globally. So it's not that you have these Brazilian super teams or, you know, your old Italian super teams that can just play against smaller countries and just beat them 5-0. Everyone can kind of play now, which makes it harder for these teams to advance. So it's been cool. It's reminded me a lot of March Madness in a cool way, which I know is appeasing to the American eye. So I've been very pleased as well with the new format.
With that being said, how impressive is it then for teams like France and maybe Mexico to not struggle at all and seemingly be in control from the jump?
It's been very impressive. I can't lie to you. The way that France has just almost like a buzzsaw just gone through every single one of their opponents, and I think they haven't scored less than 3 goals in any of their games, has been ridiculous, quite frankly. Mexico, to a lesser degree, I have been impressed. Last night was especially impressive. Ecuador coming off a big win against Germany. So, France and Mexico, Argentina, these teams that have just kind of laid to rest their games pretty early on, are certainly something to keep an eye on for the latter stages of the tournament.
We're going to get Mexico and England in Mexico, in Azteca, which should be unbelievable. The scenes last night were crazy. A team that still hasn't given up a goal. I know they haven't faced a murderer's row of opponents yet, but given England's struggles today against Congo, I mean, is that a match now, especially with their fans, the altitude, everything? Like, Mexico's got a real shot here, do they not?
I think they do, which pains me to say as a lifelong U.S. men's national team fan.
But England should be the bigger enemy, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
no, most definitely. Us and Mexico have shared some great battles. Also, being half Honduran and having that side of it as well with Mexico, it's a team that has not been the apple of my eye, let's say, for most of my life. But they definitely have a chance. I mean, I try and compare the Azteca home field advantage to, again, my friends that aren't as knowledgeable in the sport, and I think it's if you take Tiger Stadium, which again hurts me to say, but if you take Tiger Stadium holds you the advantage and put it in Denver, that's probably what you have at the Azteca. So if there's a place that Mexico can do it, it's there. And I think that if there's a time to kill off a giant like England, it's right now, because like you said, they did struggle against Congo. They weren't exactly convincing against Ghana in the group stages. They weren't convinced. I mean, they won 3-0 against Panama, but they definitely struggled to get there. So if there was a time to do it, if any Mexican friends are listening, it is right now. It is right now to get to the quarterfinal and equal their best World Cup, I think, since 1986, the last time I was in Mexico.
Johnny Meza is our guest. He's a Tulane guy, for those who are wondering about that comment there. All right, let's get to this USA matchup, man. Bosnia, what do you think play style-wise? We saw Paraguay and Australia and kind of them dropping back. Is that what we're going to – is this a Bosnia team that, like you said, understands they're not as talented and is going to change the tactics? What do you make of how they're going to play us tonight?
Yeah, no, I think if anyone bothered to watch any of Bosnia's games – if you're a psychopath like me and watched all of the games, I did. And, they certainly do like to lay back. They're a classic Eastern European team. Definitely try and hit you on set pieces and try and head a ball in because they're usually a bit bigger than their opponents. We won't have that big of an issue with their size because we have a few bigger guys of our own. But certainly we'll lay back, try to absorb pressure and hit us on the counter. Again, similar to what Paraguay tried and failed to do, and same with Australia. So I feel good about the matchup. Just to sort of give you a statistical reference for the difference in play. In the group stages, the United States averaged the most distance covered per game at about 74 miles per game to Bosnia's 69 miles per game. So we're definitely a lot more energetic. Again, these games can change everything. Bosnia might have a completely different approach now that it's a single elimination game. But I do expect us to dominate possession, and hopefully get on the end of chances, which was a bit of a struggle against Turkey. But I think that it's a little bit different having Fuller and Balogun out there tonight as opposed to Ricardo Pepi, who started and played, I believe, all 90 minutes against Turkey.
I shouldn't have waited this long to ask you about it, man. Tell us about the experience going over there, seeing the game in person. I know the result in the end was pretty brutal, especially the way it happened. But what was the World Cup experience like for you?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, if you ever get a chance to go out to SoFi Stadium, I highly recommend it. It's truly a marvel of modern architecture. I mean, when you walk in, you're at the middle bowl section, and it's literally in the ground, very close to LAX. The atmosphere was great. There were more Turkey fans there than I was expecting, which I think added a little bit to the atmosphere. Everyone was really into it. People were asking questions. The atmosphere was really great. I think FIFA did a really good job organizing the tournament. I think this country did a really good job organizing the tournament. I couldn't be happier with the experience. Definitely cost me a pretty penny, and we might be skimping on some of the, some of the weekend dinners to make up for it, but certainly worth it and a lifelong memory.
Let's go back to this USA matchup tonight. I mean, it's been, a clear thing for the U.S. is how quickly they've started, right? And they haven't had a lot of stressful moments early in the matches, especially the ones that we were still talking about advancing past the group. They've got all the pressure on them. We know that because Bosnia is, in a way, probably more happy to be here at this stage than the U.S. is. If this is 0-0, let's say 30 minutes in, is that when it starts to creep up on the Americans? Maybe the pressure sets in? What do you make of that as far as how the Americans have to deal with the idea that they are expected to win tonight?
Yeah, I think the England game from earlier is exactly the situation you want to avoid if you're in our position, because an early goal against Bosnia means that they now have to go and chase the game and open up, and then those spaces in their in our attacking third, their defensive third, open up and make it a little easier for us to get the second goal or the third goal. What you don't want is, like you said, to be 0-0 going into the 70th minute, and then they start to believe a little bit, and then you start to get frustrated, and passes get misplaced, and the emotional momentum starts to swing a little bit against you. And that is so, so, so important in soccer. You just don't want the emotional momentum against you because it's a game of fine margins. They say inches win football games. Well, it's the same in soccer. A misplaced pass, maybe 6 inches to the left leads to a counterattack. Boom, you're down 1-0. It is so, so, so important for you to keep everything in check, get that early goal, bring the game to them, and just go and take it and win. Like the superpower that you're claiming that you are, go and show it against Bosnia.
I gave an official 3-1 score prediction on the record. You like that?
I do like that. I think it'll be 2-0.
Okay.
I do like the two goal deficit. I think I would venture to say that's probably, at least in this World Cup, the difference that we've showed. I think it'll be hard for Bosnia to score against us. If it happens, it'll be off a corner kick, but I think we'll do good enough to take the win and into the next round.
All right, we'll do a dangerous thing here. We'll look ahead a little bit, Johnny. We'll look at this matchup into the next round because I'm not going to get a chance to do another show before the next round would be taking place. Belgium and Senegal, that one's happening. I mean, it's about to start in 15 minutes, but I know Belgium's probably the better team on paper. Is there a better matchup, though? Do you care one way or the other as far as the matchup is concerned if the Americans are to face the winner?
If I were to say I'd prefer to face one, it'd be Senegal, just because we already played them and are familiar with them. But regardless of whoever, in Al Davis's honor, just win, baby.
I'm with you there. And is that, like, when you look at the rest of this, I know everybody's pointing ahead and looking at Spain as a potential matchup. If we get to that point, even though Portugal and Croatia are both, formidable teams, are you just rooting upsets, as many upsets as possible in their path? Is that the easiest way to do it?
Yeah, I think so. Look, everyone loves upsets. March Madness, what game do you remember? Do you remember Kentucky beating the crap out of a 16 seed? Or do you remember, Oral Roberts upsetting Duke or something like that? It's as simple as that. So that's what I would say.
I'm in with you right there. Johnny, appreciate your time, man. Enjoy it, and we'll talk again at some point, brother.
Okay, thank you, man. You take it easy.
That's Johnny Meza talking with us, U.S. and Bosnia. He likes 2-0. I like 3-1. James Mesh needs to give his score prediction. We will hold that for the final segment of the show. We're actually going to have a little extra time in that final segment, so we'll go through, we'll give some other thoughts, and we'll round out the show. And effectively, it'll be my last show for a little while, by the way. I am headed on vacation after this. I will be watching Team USA tonight to kind of kickstart my vacation, then I'll be in the air tomorrow morning and ready to head to a different time zone. So let's do it. Let's take a time out, close out the show, and get you set up for a few days without me after this. It's the LohDown.
This is the LohDown with D-Loh, live on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Bluebell has been making the best ice cream in the country for more than 100 years, and they have now unveiled a flavor just in time for the 4th of July. It's Red, White, and Bluebell. This limited edition flavor features strawberry ice cream loaded with succulent strawberries, a creamy homemade vanilla, and a smooth blueberry-flavored ice cream that has real blueberries in it as well. Let's celebrate the Red, White, and Blue with Red, White, and Bluebell. It's currently available in half-gallon and pint sizes at most retailers. Go pick some up today. It's going to be a hot one, 4th of July this weekend. Share it with Bluebell Ice Cream.
ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles is your home for the Houston Astros.
And the Astros stun the Mariners.
Hunter Brown, Yordan Alvarez, and the rest of the Astros are looking to get back to the postseason. You can listen to every pitch, hit, and thrilling victory of the Houston Astros.
Incredible!
As Robert Ford and Steve Sparks will be on the call. Tune in this season for live Astros baseball on Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
Around Acadiana, community means supporting the businesses that make our hometown special. That's why we're proud to spotlight local companies that are certified South Louisiana.
Delta Home Center and Delta Trailer Sales, your one-stop shop for utility and cargo trailers. Heavy-duty dump and gooseneck trailers, portable buildings, cabins, decks, porches, fences, carports, and site-built metal shops. Located at Exit 7 in Carencro or at deltatrailersales.com.
When you support local businesses, you strengthen the communities we call home. Shop local, support local. Certified South Louisiana.
And now time for the Expert Minute, brought to you by Sugarland Exterminating.
Ever wonder why bugs seem to love your home as much as you do? One big reason? Moisture. Roaches, termites, and ants are drawn to damp areas. Check under sinks, around windows, and in attics for leaks or excess moisture. A little home maintenance goes a long way in keeping those pests out. Got unwanted guests? Call Sugarland Exterminating, 337-367-1414, or visit sugarlandexterminating.com for more information.
Sugarland Exterminating, the pest-free environment we're creating. Spiders, roaches, rats, and mice, those awful termites are not so nice. Get rid of all your pests right now. Call Sugarland Exterminating.
Termites, they're here. They're invasive. They can destroy your home if left untreated. Sugarland Exterminating has been in business for over 50 years, and they have the experience to effectively treat termites. Call 367-1414 or visit sugarlandexterminating.com.
And that has been your Expert Minute, brought to you by Sugarland Exterminating. Exterminating.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce exhibit number 1.
MeTV is America's #1 classic television network.
There can only be one number 1, me.
MeTV features over 60 of the greatest classic TV series each week.
Go with the winner.
Enjoy dramas, comedies, westerns, sci-fi, and more.
You just watch me.
Watch MeTV Acadiana on KLWB, over the air on Channel 50.1. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
MeTV is memorable entertainment television.
Hi, I'm Nancy Landry. No matter what part of our great state you call home, Louisiana's elections are an important part of who we are. In 2026, closed party primaries will change how some of those elections happen, so you'll want to know what to do. Keeping your registration current ensures you'll get the right party-based ballot. Remember, this change only applies to certain offices. To learn more, visit govote.com or download the GoVote app.
Paid for by the Louisiana Secretary of State's office.
You're listening to the 2026 LAB Award winner for Radio Young Professional of the Year, Dawson Iserloh, the host of the LohDown with D-Loh on ESPN 103.7 Lafayette and 104.1 Lake Charles, Southwest Louisiana's sports station.
It is the LohDown. We are back here on a Wednesday. Programming reminder, as I've mentioned a couple times before. I am off tomorrow, and I am off. We're all off Friday. Our studios are closed. Then I am also going to be still out Monday and Tuesday. So tomorrow we're going to go to ESPN National Programming. We will send you to ESPN National Radio from 1 to 3. AFR will air as scheduled tomorrow afternoon from 3 to 6. Then it's all ESPN National Programming on Friday. We will be celebrating the 4th of July holiday. Delta Media will be closed altogether. Monday and Tuesday, normal work days for most. I'm just, taking a little extra time for myself. So our friend Jarrett Rozier, friend of the program, will be in to host the LohDown with D-Loh. Jarrett will be in studio for that. Excited to have him back in the mix. He's hosted the show a couple times when I've been out before, so Jarrett will be back in there. Jarrett's, super knowledgeable when it comes to the high school ranks in the area, all around the state, Louisiana versus all y'all. We've had him on the show plenty of times before, so excited to have Jarrett back on board and stepping into this chair Monday and Tuesday for me. I will be back as long as, and you all know my history with travel. James knows it better than anyone. I mean, I tell you what, I have not been graced with the best luck on earth in that regard. So we're planning to be back in this chair on Wednesday, but I just, I don't want to assume anything these days when it comes to me getting on airplanes, getting off of them, and then getting back to the destination that I plan to be at. Anyway, regardless, better thoughts. Americans, let's do it. Let's do it. We got 90 minutes for the rest of our lives tonight, guys. Tim Tebow. Let's get whoever we need to. I don't know who they've had. I imagine the men's national team has some pretty good guest speakers. I need Tim Tebow in there. I wouldn't mind Rocky giving him a speech. You know what I mean? Whether it really, you can go in all walks of life too, right? Get your classic motivational speaker in the fitness world. Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger needs to talk to him. I don't know who needs to give the U.S. the pep talk that they need, but we got to be going out there playing with our hair on fire. We got to be doing that for 90 minutes tonight. We really, as I said before, we really haven't had that nervous energy in this tournament yet. We jumped all over Paraguay before everybody had settled in. We cruised past that game. You jump on Australia as well. Australia never really has any big chances to threaten, and then you were already through. So, yeah, you gave up some goals and you lost the match to Turkey, but that didn't have the same feeling. You didn't have that this could be it feeling at all. So tonight could be the first of those. Or maybe the Americans just jump out to an early lead and cruise. My pick is a 3-1 win. Johnny Mace's pick is a 2-0 win. James Mesh is now on the clock with his official prediction for how tonight's game's going to go. James, what are you thinking about this?
I'm going in between the two of you.
Okay.
I do feel a lot better about the defense this go around. However, it does feel like they will give up one.
Okay.
But I still have, of course, the USA winning 2-1.
We didn't specify. Well, I guess we didn't have to because we had the 2-goal advantage, although you could still have a 2-goal advantage in extra time. Are you thinking we're going to need any extra time there or just the 90 minutes of regulation, sir?
I could see it getting close, but I think with, they'll get that last goal probably after the 70th minute.
Okay, but before the 90th.
Yeah, before the 90th.
I like that. I mean, that'll be stress. That'll be some stressful moments. I do plan to watch the game tonight also, like at a sports bar type place, like because I haven't gotten to do that. The first 3 games, the way it's all worked out, I've been at home for all of them. So I'm excited to be in an energetic atmosphere full of red-blooded Americans that are ready to root for their team. So that'll be a new experience for me, and I'm just hoping that this is a good chance. Actually, I lied. I did watch the first game with friends, but it was just like a small gathering at a house. So this will be the first time, like potentially, you get that loud. You know what I mean? You watch it. I like doing that sometimes. You watch an event where everybody's on the same team, and you get the big roars. You know, you get everybody caring about an event going on right now. That's what I'm hoping to get tonight. I do think I'm excited to watch Christian Pulisic do his thing. Captain America, be the guy, be the captain, be the man. And I'll go ahead and say this. Just because of what I've watched so far with the knockout stage games, and we've told you about them, plenty of different ones with whether it be Germany and going down and then, the struggles that we saw for England and like all these different teams that have struggled. One of the things is opportunities have been presented by the underdogs in this tournament so far. So I think you're going to need some good goalkeeping. I really do. And so I wouldn't say concerned about it. I'm actually excited about the opportunity. Our guy, Matt Freese, everybody makes fun of him. He's just an MLS goalie.
Mm-hmm.
This is his moment to shine. I think he's going to have to make a couple big saves tonight. I think he's going to be up for the challenge.
I will say, though, going back to all the U.S. matches so far, like they've gotten to the really early, fast starts.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being the case, it actually wouldn't surprise me if the U.S. scores both of their goals in my prediction in the first half, and then they give up one in the second half. Because they slow down the pace and the offensive efficiency in the second half.
Right. Oh, and that makes sense too, especially if you do go up, right? You just naturally you want to play a little bit more defensive. The interesting thing, Matt Freese, the guy I'm referencing, he did not have to make a single save against Paraguay. That's how good defensively the U.S. was in that match. Now, I mean, they gave up a goal late, so I guess he could have made a save. He had 2 against Australia, and then, of course, in the Turkey game, that's when the Americans, knowing that they had advanced, they decided to switch things up, and they actually gave Matt Turner. By the way, I knew I wasn't dreaming, where I was like, isn't the other goalie's name Matt? They're both named Matt. Matt Freese and Matt Turner, but Matt Freese, I think, is going to get the start, given that he was the goalie for the 2 American wins so far. He's only had to make 2 saves in this tournament so far. We saw the goalie for the Democratic Republic of the Congo looked like an All-American. I mean, he was unbelievable. Whoa, we're getting a flicker of the lights in here. Hopefully, power holds on for 3 more minutes before I turn this thing over to AFR. By the way, we had a random, just massive kind of thunderstorm roll through here like an hour ago. If anybody's out and about on the roadways today, be mindful of that. Don't know where. I guess one of those classic summer pop-up showers that just doused us here midday. But I think you're going to have a couple critical saves. I think there's going to be a couple of gut check moments tonight. But I think the Americans pull through. Belgium and Senegal. By the way, I can't wait. I mean, I'm about to turn it on, right? When this show goes off the air, of course. Belgium and Senegal should be a lot of fun as well. I've been a Belgium fan in the past. When the U.S. didn't qualify, I picked them as my team. Those allegiances don't run as deep as the good old U.S. of A. guys. Fear not. There's going to be no questioning my allegiances here. I actually don't mind. I don't care one way or another, I don't think, if Belgium wins today, because I do think it's a little better matchup, like Johnny said, if we get Senegal in the next round. But it should be a good match regardless, because Senegal's pretty good. The African teams have shown out, and we've seen that time and time again so far in this tournament. Some real statements being made. And, the Congo was almost the next one to do it big. Our guy James Mesh is happy because he's got his Ronaldinho Special Edition World Cup going on over there. With his secondary team being Brazil, they got the win over Japan. He's fired up about it. The cup looks good.
It does look good. It doesn't look good for Brazil, though, next round.
You don't think?
No.
What's got you scared about the matchup?
Just the way Brazil's playing, really.
You don't like that they had to save themselves late against Japan?
Is
Neymar going to run
also
on the field at some point?
Yeah, but also Neymar's been injured the whole time, as he always is, and it just feels like the Holland-Norway run it feels like it's going to get to the quarterfinals.
You think they're one of those teams?
It feels like one of those teams where it's like even though it's been a struggle and Holland finally broke through late in yesterday's ball game, it feels like this leads to another big time game for Norway.
I wouldn't mind seeing the row celebration one more time. Not gonna lie, Not going to lie to you. It's been electricity.
And it just kind of adds to all of the quote-unquote powers that are going down early in the knockout stages.
It could be. It could be. There
Feels
you
like
go.
a trend.
It is a trend. What do they say? 1's an anomaly, 2's a trend, 3's I don't know. I don't have that phrase off the top of my head. I think 3's a trend, maybe, if that's what it is. 2's a coincidence? I don't know. We'll have to look that one up. All right. That'll do it for a Wednesday. As you can tell, I'm on vacation mode brain already. I will be back on Wednesday. The fellas, the early shows will all go on as normal tomorrow. So you'll have the Jordy Holtbrook Show. You'll have Footnote. You'll have RP3 and Mesh. No Lowdown tomorrow. We'll be back on, Monday with Jarrett Rocher filling in. Wednesday with me. Enjoy the holiday. Be safe out there, everybody. I mean, how American is it going to feel tonight if the U.S. puts a couple in the back of the net? Come on, let's do this. USA chants all the way. AFR's next.
Lose weight with Alex Goen patented hypnosis.
This is Lisa Stofan. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods. I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband, and he lost weight.
The only weight loss method in America proven useful by the U.S. Patent Office because it reprograms your subconscious. Engineered to kill cravings, emotional eating, and late-night fridge attacks. Get full on half the food, so you lose the weight and you keep it off. 10 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever your goal. Only $59.99 or your money back. Weight loss seminar Saturday, July 18th at the Hilton Garden Inn Cajun Dome at 11 a.m. Stop smoking at 2 p.m. Sign up at alexgoen.com. That's ALEXGOEN.com. alexgoen.com.
Did you know you can get great tasting Clear Springs artesian water delivered to your office or your doorstep at home? Clear Springs is 100% local with their own bottling facility at the world-famous Kentwood Aquifer, no chemicals added. Just pure Kentwood, Louisiana artesian water. Clear Springs Water offers delivery of 5 or 3-gallon water service with a hot and cold temperature water cooler or even single-serve bottles delivered to your home or office. Easy to reach, clearsprings.net, then contact us tab or 337-519-3563.
Looking for a great midweek treat? Come to Mezcal Mexican Restaurant every Wednesday and Thursday and enjoy their sizzling fajita special. $13.99 plus tax all day long. Don't forget all day 2-for-1 margaritas. Are you planning a large party? Let Mezcal handle it. Call 337-484-3298 and Mezcal will take care of everything. That's a fajita special, $13.99 plus tax all day Wednesday and Thursday at Mezcal Mexican Restaurant, 3546 Ambassador Caffrey, next to Rooms to Go. Come taste the flavor of Mezcal.
Live from Upper Lafayette, this is ESPN 1037 KLWB Karen Crow Lafayette, KLCJ FM Oak Grove Lake Charles 1041, a Delta Media station.